Let's talk some toys in here.
Hey, how's everybody doing today at YouTube? Some man child. Alright, so up next in my Spawn figures review, we have the new remastered Spawn Cygor. Yeah, this guy's massive, I'll tell you that. The size of that box, pretty heavy too. Now Mcfarlane's done a few of these over the last couple decades, so to speak. Obviously, he's been remastering his Spawn line. We're on series, this is from series 2 now. The last big creature was Violator. I did a review with him months back, but we got Cy-Gor in the line. It's just the back. Yeah, overall, I'm happy just to have another big monster in my collection. So let's get this guy out of the box, and we're going to check him out. Wow, this guy's impressive looking. Holy cow. I'm really impressed to have a Cy-Gor finally, just with the type of articulation this one has. I mean, some of the older ones they have, there are some articulation, but not the different way you can pose this guy. And again, it's a gorilla, so it's going to be more in a hunt stance and obviously the arms. But yeah, it's top-notch detail. Good paint. I'm liking it. So starting with our head, yeah, look at that face. Look at the head, just the sculpt, the amount, the teeth. Right, the tongue all around, just the features, of course. I mean, Mcfarlane, right? Yeah, eyes are painted. Just right. This one looks a little bigger. Again, he's a little beat up. That's the cybernetic side. This is your animal side. Now there's no articulation in the jaw or nothing like that. It's just kind of open. So that would have been cool if it had that. But then I guess it would have. Mcfarlane don't like that, making all those bizarre cuts for aesthetics. But anyway. Yeah, hey, just really goes up and down, go left to right, go back about that far and go forward. Not going to do too much with it, but it still look like that, Yeah, check out all that detail of cybernetics on this side, on the left side. Yeah, really cool. And then here's our right side. Right, the animal, the uncybernetic. Yeah, look, he has battle scars in there. Real deep cut, laceration wounds. And here too, now we got our chest. All right, check out half just the chest plate there. Look at all the stitches, staples. It's all painted in there, right? Get the metal staples and just the womb still bleeding. So let's take a look at the mechanical one first. Look at the detail on that. He's got this just shoulder plate. Now this is soft. I don't know if it comes off. Probably can. Kind of hides these aesthetics, but yeah, it's the brass wiring in there. Look at all the detail. That's awesome. As far as the articulation on this one, so let's do that. Let it go. It's not going to go out. It's going to go out about that too far anyway, but let's see. Oh, maybe that far. It's got a big ball joint under there. Okay, swing forward. Go all the way back. That's about it. You're not going to go too far with that. Okay, and as far as the elbow, there's a little detail. Look at all just this is really hard. Like all these mechanical, I guess they're big wires or circuitry and stuff. Man, that is incredible. But you got a joint in here. It's really tough. I like to heat it up. See that? That's pretty cool though. You can go all the way in like so. And then straighten your arm pretty close to, not all the way out, but more or less going to look like that. And then for the left hand, it's also got a joint in there and go all the way back. So, and then I'm stuck and then go forward. So I'm going to ball joint and can rotate. That's about it. Now it's got, look, it looks like a Terminator. These cybernetic fingers with little pistons and all the sculptings in there, but they're not, it's pre-posed. Like, just like how a gorilla would walk on its hand, or, forward on its hands, more or less, with the knuckles closed. Yeah, nothing articulates. I don't think it does. Looks like it, but no. It's all, yep, it's pre-posed. And also in the elbow joint, too, not only go up and down, you can also, when you get in the right position, you can spin it, too. And on to the right arm, right, the on-cybernetic one, yeah, same thing, got all the battle damage, staples in there. Now, this one can go out a little further, like so. Out and down. Hear that? It's like on a ratchet joint. And go all the way up and all the way down and back. So that's cool. Yeah, you got a lot more flexibility with this side. Now, the right side of the elbow is interesting. Also has a joint in there, and you can kind of, that's about as far as you can go with it. And then straighten out maybe that far. And the reason why is, check this out, it has like these, wires or braided kind of, I don't know what they're supposed to be, just hoses. Comes off this elbow, or the lower forearm, goes back up into the arm. Maybe it's blood supply or something, electricity. But it doesn't allow you, so you can only go to far and it gets locked. You got to be careful, you'll snap these. I wouldn't, or from either end. And then you can still rotate this, but again, see, it'll spin all the way that way, which looks weird. I don't know why you would want to. And then you're going to go about that far, and again, you got to be careful with these. So it's kind of strange to set up that way with them lines, but it's best you can do with that. And here's a close-up on this arm for the right side. Again, watch these lines. You're only going to do so much with them. It almost looks like this is the position it's meant to stay in, something like that. and kind of, you know, you're only gonna go up or down. That's it. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Looks like there's like little gauges in here almost sculpted. Kind of there's no glass in them. You can see the little needles. And there's our braided lines under there. Just you got these blue hoses up here going from one side to the other. It's cooler painted like that. And it's all these weird aesthetics. Same thing, looks like little, yeah, other valves and pistons and all kinds of stuff. And here's our right hand, and it's, yeah, sculpted the same way as the left side. Obviously just, you know, one thumbs in, matched for the right hand. But, yeah, it would have been cool if these open, or at least had one side that could open to, like an open hand if you want it, but they don't. And same articulation, up, down, can spin. That's it, Matt. It's the same side as the left, side of the thumbs. And we'll move on to our waist. Waist has a big, feels like a ball joint. You can at least, you know, yes, kind of spin left to right. And you can fold it, hunch it more or less. When in that type of position, just go back that far. You know, again, it matches aesthetics of Gorilla. Now, what's interesting is this is like a rubber piece of boot. See that? It's really soft. So sometimes when if he's all the way back, it looks really goofy to gap. When he's forward, you don't really notice it too, you know, it's not that bad. So that's all our backs. Take a look at that. There's all detail, all right, back of the head. And look at our collar. Yeah, just all kinds of cool sculpting. Look at steel reinforcement plates for spine, gauges all over. See little needles, pistons, and hoses, and it's kind of the back of the left shoulder blade. And then it's down here, just, yep, all turns of fur, and it's kind of the back of all that. And as far as our legs, they're identical, side left and right. Yeah, just fur, and it's just a mechanical boot up to the knee on both sides, and so is the feet. But we'll just, as far as the articulation, kind of like spin more or less like that. The knee can go out about that far, and that far back. Can't spin at the knee. I don't know if you can. Okay, so there we go. So they can spread out like that. That's pretty cool, like a different stance. And as far as the feet are on a, okay, they're like a ball joint. Yeah, these are really tight. You got to be careful. Kind of spin them. You can push up like that and go down maybe about that far. That's about it, I think. Yeah, as far as the knee can go. And the toes, same thing. They're locked, and the other side is pretty much the same thing. Okay, and he stands pretty good. Now, they give you another one of these cheesy little stands. I don't even use them for regular figures. I use the Kaiser stands. I use them. They're good for like my Motu figures or something. But yeah, he's really stiff at the joints, and I couldn't even put a Kaiser stand because it won't wrap around his waist. So yeah, I'm glad he can stand up like that. But you know, we're all different positions and bending him forward and back and twist to the side, whatnot. Yeah, really good balance. Or you could just in a typical A position. Okay, we got a little comparison here. So this was Cy-Gor 2. He was a box set in the late 90s, maybe. I mean, this one's still just a little more beefier. He has more articulation. This one's still pretty cool, though. This one came with a little cyber monkey. Kind of, I don't know, you put him up on the top. Even that arm, that purplish, this all these hoses is really, yeah, really done in detail. This one has markings on it. It still articulates a hand, and it also had a claw that you can pop out with this hand. Now the hand, same thing. It's pre-sculpted. It's more of an open, you know, it's more open, but it's, yeah, you're not going to close it as far as fingers. So, you know, same. I'm just comparing it with this one. And then he had a regular hand on this side. We could spin. And this one has all metal chains. And the detail is just crazy on this one, too. Just the painting in the back. I mean, incredible for something that long ago. So I think this one has a little more detail, but this one's just better. It's heavier, and it's just better as far as articulation and, you know, stuff up in the head and whatnot. But, you know, it's personal preference. But, yeah, I like this one. And I'm going to do one more comparison. Now, like I said, there's been a few different iterations of Cy-Gor over the years. I do have another, but they're more pre-posed. They're not, you know, we're just focusing on more articulation and whatnot. The other ones weren't. They're more statue-like. But this is where it all started. I think that was from Series 1 or 2, like 1994 or 5. That was original Spawn. Look at that. So, yeah, big difference. This was still kind of cool, though, you know, for something made in the day. Pretty cool detail. And this one has a firing rocket, spring rocket, and does have some articulation, you know, nothing crazy, but, yeah, look at articulation. Still, it holds up. I still have it, and I like it. The head don't move, but, you know, that's kind of where the whole start of Cy-Gor came from as far as the toy. Okay, so overall, I think he's a cool figure. I really like him. I like just the way he can stand up and the different poses you can position him in with the articulation. Very menacing. Has really cool detail. Honestly, this one has a little better detail. But again, with the face, articulation, it's like, you take your pick. I personally like this one for what I'm trying to do today. So I hope to answer all your questions. I hope everybody's doing well. And until next time, take care.